Bangkok is one of the most popular destinations for travelers who want to experience the vibrant culture, delicious food, and friendly people of the city. But how much does it cost to live in Bangkok? Is it really as affordable as some people say? Or is it more expensive than you think? In this video, we will show you the average costs of living in Bangkok, including rent, utilities, food, transportation, entertainment, and more. By the end of this video, you will know how much money you need to live comfortably in Bangkok, and whether it is the right place for you. So, if you want to find out the truth about the cost of living in Bangkok, Thailand, keep on watching. The first thing we need to talk about is the rent. Rent is usually the biggest expense for most people, and it can vary a lot depending on the location, size, and quality of the apartment. Bangkok is a huge city with many different areas and neighborhoods, so you need to do some research and find the best place for you. Generally speaking, the closer you are to the city center, the more expensive the rent will be. However, you can also find some cheaper options if you are willing to live a bit further away from the main attractions and use public transportation or a motorbike to get around. According to Numbeo, the average monthly rent for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center is about $581, while a three-bedroom apartment costs about $1,560. If you want to save some money, you can look for a cheaper one-bedroom apartment outside the city center, which costs about $267 on average, or a three-bedroom apartment for about $855. Of course, these are just average prices, and you can find some apartments that are cheaper or more expensive, depending on the area and the condition. For example, we live in a nice one-bedroom apartment in Sukhumvit, which is a popular area for expats and tourists, and we pay about $400 per month, which includes the utilities and the internet. We think it's a great deal, considering the location and the amenities. Another thing you need to consider when renting an apartment in Bangkok is the deposit and the contract. Most landlords will ask for a deposit of 1 or 2 months' rent, which you will get back when you move out, minus any damages or fees. Some landlords may also ask for a 1-year contract, which can be a problem if you are not planning to stay that long. However, you can always try to negotiate with them and ask for a shorter contract or a lower deposit. Sometimes they will agree, especially if the apartment has been vacant for a while, or if you have a good reference. Alternatively, you can look for a serviced apartment or a co-living space, which usually offer more flexibility and convenience, but they may also be more expensive. The next thing we need to talk about is the utilities. Utilities include electricity, water, gas, internet, and sometimes cable TV. The cost of utilities can vary depending on your usage, the size of your apartment, and the season. For example, if you use the air conditioner a lot, which you probably will, your electricity bill will be higher. According to Numbeo, the average monthly cost of utilities for a one-person apartment is about $60, while for a family of 4, it's about $95. However, these are just estimates, and your actual cost may be higher or lower depending on your lifestyle. For example, our monthly utility bill is about $80, which includes the electricity, water, internet, and cable TV. We think it's reasonable, considering that we use the air conditioner almost every day and we work from home. The next thing we need to talk about is the food. Food is one of the best things about living in Bangkok, because you can find a wide variety of cuisines from Thai to Chinese to Indian to Italian and more. You can also find food for any budget, from street food to fine dining. If you want to save money, you can eat at local restaurants or street stalls, which offer delicious and cheap food. You can get a meal for as low as $1 or $2, depending on what you order. For example, you can get a plate of pad thai, which is a stir-fried noodle dish with eggs, tofu, bean sprouts, and peanuts, for about $1.50. Or you can get a bowl of tom yum soup, which is a spicy and sour soup with shrimp, mushrooms, and herbs, for about $2. These are some of the most popular dishes in Thailand, and you can find them almost everywhere. And if you want to splurge, you can eat at more upscale restaurants or international chains, which offer more variety and quality, but also charge more. You can expect to pay about $10 to $20 per person for a meal at a mid-range restaurant, or more if you order drinks or desserts. For example, You can get a pizza at Pizza Hut for about $1.10, or a burger at McDonald's for about $5.50. These are some of the most common options for foreigners who miss their home food. But you can also find many other cuisines, such as Japanese, Korean, Mexican, and more. If you want to cook at home, you can buy groceries at supermarkets or local markets, which offer fresh and cheap produce, meat, seafood, and more. According to Numbeo, the average monthly cost of groceries for a single person is about $261, while for a family of 4, it's about $667. However, these are just estimates, and your actual cost may be higher or lower depending on your diet and preferences. The next thing we need to talk about is transportation. Transportation is another thing that you need to consider when living in Bangkok, because the city is huge and traffic can be a nightmare. Fortunately, there are many options for getting around, such as buses, trains, taxis, motorbike taxis, tuk-tuks, and more. You can also rent or buy a car or a motorbike, but you need to have a valid driver's license and insurance, and be prepared to deal with the traffic and the parking. The cheapest and most convenient option for transportation is public transportation, which includes the BTS SkyTrain, the MRT subway, the airport rail link, and the buses. These are fast, reliable, and comfortable, and they cover most of the city. You can buy a single ticket for each ride, or you can buy a monthly pass or a stored value card, which can save you some money and time. According to Numbeo, the average cost of a one-way ticket is about $1.20, while the average cost of a monthly pass is about $37. However, these are just averages, and the actual cost may vary depending on the distance and the type of the service. For example, we use the BTS SkyTrain almost every day, and we pay about $30 per month for a stored value card, which gives me unlimited rides within a certain zone. The next option for transportation is the taxi, which is more expensive than the public transportation, but also more flexible and convenient. You can find taxis almost everywhere in Bangkok, and they are usually metered and air-conditioned. You can also use apps like Grab or Gojek to book a taxi or a motorbike taxi online, which can be cheaper and safer than hailing one on the street. According to Numbeo, the average cost of a taxi ride is about $9.70 for 8 kilometers or 5 miles, which includes the starting fare, the distance fare, and the waiting time. However, the actual cost may vary depending on the traffic and the route. For example, we use a taxi once in a while, and we pay about $5 to $10 per ride, depending on the time and the destination. So, these are some of the main options for transportation in Bangkok, and you can choose the one that suits your budget and your preference. The next thing we need to talk about is entertainment. Entertainment is another thing that you need to consider when living in Bangkok, because the city has a lot of things to offer, such as shopping, nightlife, culture, and more. You can find entertainment for any taste and any budget, from cheap and cheerful to luxurious and extravagant. If you want to save money, you can enjoy the free or low-cost attractions, such as the temples, the parks, the museums, and the markets. You can also watch a movie at a cinema, which costs about $5 per ticket, or go to a karaoke bar, which costs about $10 per hour. These are some of the most common and affordable options for entertainment in Bangkok, and you can find them almost everywhere. And if you want to splurge, you can enjoy the more expensive and exclusive attractions, such as the rooftop bars, the spas, the golf courses, and the shows. You can also go shopping at the malls, which offer a wide range of brands, products, and services, from local to international. You can expect to pay about $20 to $50 per person for a drink at a rooftop bar, or about $30 to $100 per person for a massage at a spa. You can also pay about $50 to $150 per person for a round of golf, or about $40 to $80 per person for a ticket to a show. These are some of the most luxurious and extravagant options for entertainment in Bangkok, and you can find them in the more upscale areas of the city. So, these are the main options for entertainment in Bangkok, and you can choose the one that suits your mood and your wallet. The last thing we need to talk about is the miscellaneous expenses, Miscellaneous expenses include things like clothing, personal care, healthcare, education, and more. These are things that you may or may not need, depending on your situation and your lifestyle. According to Numbeo, the average monthly cost of miscellaneous expenses for a single person is about $200, while for a family of 4, it's about $500. However, these are just estimates, and your actual costs may be higher or lower, depending on your needs and preferences. So, these are the main categories of expenses that you need to consider when living in Bangkok. And you can see that the cost of living in Bangkok can vary a lot depending on your choices and your lifestyle. Alright guys, that's all for today's video about the cost of living in Bangkok, Thailand. We hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you did, please give this video a big thumbs up and leave a comment below. Let us know what you think about Bangkok and if you would like to live there or visit there someday. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you won't miss any of our future videos. We have a lot more content coming your way. Don't miss our next video. Trust us, you don't want to miss this one. Click the link below to watch it. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.